Hello out there. From today we are going to address the web application security and pen testing. And in that series we have introduced the authentication system and its various bypasses. When you talk about authentication, what does it mean? It means that web applications will institute a particular process or a code which will facilitate it to identify the user who holds the rights over the resources that is being supplied by the web server. Now, what are the various authentication systems are there? So, in a nutshell, authentication systems can be divided into three categories. First is the traditional authentication system, that is the cookie-based authentication system, in which application will provide you a session token based on the valid credentials provided by you through a username and password box. Okay, which we see in our day-to-day life while visiting through various sites. At the same time, because this is the age of modern applications coming with a different type of languages, so every language has implemented different type of authentication system. Like some of the applications uses JSON web token, some of the applications rely on the identity providers like OAuth, OpenID, SAML. All these authentication systems have their drawbacks and at the same time advantages based on the type of implementation that has been done by the developer. Okay, and third and the trivial kind of authentication systems are the HTTP based authentication system or customized authentication system, in which developer will use their nascent code based on the language used by them and accordingly implement into the system to identify the user and its resource rights. Okay, so what I have done for the series, I'll start from the basic one. So I'll be taking the trivial authentication system at first and its problem. The application language that I'm going to use is PHP and my PHP version is 7.4.9. Okay, so more or less I'm using slightly modern modern version of PHP only in order to demonstrate the bugs or lapse that could be possibly hacked by some attacker. Now to demonstrate the lapse in the language or lapse in the program, I have coded 4 applications for you, which I will be shortly demonstrate before you in some time. And in all that you need to find out a way to bypass the checks implemented by the developer. Now it is very much predictable that the application that I have designed is definitely have some loopholes which can be exploited by the user. But the thing is that how you are going to exploit that and what is the lesson that you are taking out of it. Okay, that is very important, because I am making the video in a series so that it could cater to the needs of a beginners also. At the same time, it should draw the attention of the expert developer. Okay, when it comes to the secure coding. So let's visit our website. Okay, so you can see that the application that I'm going to use in some time is based on XAMPP, and this is my web labs in which you can see some login PHP, login.php. So let's first start with the first one. Okay, now this particular application is based on very important thing, that is based on blacklisting and whitelisting approach. You know that web application firewalls are there, and in web application firewalls there are certain rules are written. For example, in blacklisting approach, you just try to avoid all the bad known things. Okay, you just allow the things that is good for the application. Otherwise, you'll just strip off the other component. Now the application says that I only identify Raman. Now let's try to put Raman. Okay, the moment you will put Raman, you will see that is not identifying the Raman. So there is some kind of checks and balances that I have implemented at the back. So let's see what are the checks and balances that I have implemented over there. And in order to understand that, I'll just straight away take you to the code at the back of the application. Okay, so right now you must be understanding that there could be some kind of firewall is there which is stripping the moment you are providing the word Raman. That's why it's not able to identify Raman. So let's see how it is being done. Okay, So I'll just show you the source code in some time. Let's do some more fuzzing here. See, I'm just and the moment I put Raman, it's asking me who are you, Raman. So what is there? So let's go to the source code straight away. The source code, you can see that that there is a secret word which is already hard coded, Raman, and the moment when a user provides its user input, it will be checked, and if it matches to the secret, then it will allow you as a commendable skill. Otherwise, who are you? Okay, the message will pop up. Now at the same time, I'm using a preg replace command from the PHP. Preg replace does a kind of replacement function which basically try to identify a keywords in a string, and it will try to replace based on the rules implemented. Now moment it's identify Raman in the inputted string, it will try to replace with a white space character. Okay, so that's why when you are putting Raman, it is basically stripping of Raman and giving you only a white space. Now what are the way to bypass it? Now see, if I just try to write Raman, okay, in this way, suppose RAM, and you're just writing Raman, and then the way I'm writing over here, let's see what's happened. See, I'm writing Raman in the middle and prepending it to Raman in the forward. Okay, prepending and appending at the same time. And moment I click, it says commendable skills. So basically, this application is trying to work on the blacklist principle. Now, this kind of thing is happening because you have wrongly implemented the preg replace function. Okay. Now you have understood. You may try more fuzzing over here, and you try and give your own shot to bypass the checks implemented. But I have given you the basic idea that how preg replace has been implemented here and what you need to do to bypass the access control. Okay. Now let's proceed to see. I have for your reference, I am again showing you the PHP version that I am using, so that you should understand that it is not because of the older version or the legacy version. It is because of the wrong implementation of the code here. Okay. So you may also write as R, then you can write Raman, and then at the end you can say AMAN. So other format you can write. Now let's jump to the second problem. In this, the password is tough and you no need to brute force. Now for the second problem, basically the developer is trying to do certain things at the back, and let's see what is being done. Sorry, let's straight away jump into the source code again and see what is the password here. The password is tough it is. Okay, and if I just provide you the tough it is, and then it will just what it will do, it is using a strcmp function from PHP, and if I just use that password tough it is, see, commendable skill, you cracked it. Okay, but this is not the way that we are expected to crack it. So how to crack it? So let's I'll be firing my bob to attain the same, but let's see. I'm just doing a little bit of fuzzing here to show you that it is withstanding to all of your inputs. Even the toggle modes is also not working here. So see, I'm using strcmp function and comparing your input to the hard-coded secret of the application. Sorry, relatively cold here. Now let's try to fire my bob so that you can understand it better. Okay, because there is no way that you can bypass this without using bob. Okay, and a bob is very handy, and if anyone having a problem in running bob, please tell me. See, I have fired my bob. And let's straight away proceed to the application. Okay, see. Okay, let's provide a test input. The interception is on. Now let's provide a test input here and intercept it. Okay, it's on. Okay, so let's push it to the repeater so that you can fudge it. Now let's try to proceed the request as it is. See, it is saying who are you test. Okay, so that means we are not able to bypass it. Now let's try to fudge the identity parameter because we are using a strcmp function. strcmp function is a kind of function in PHP which basically compare two strings, minded two strings. Sorry. Now if I just pass on different type of data types from PHP input box, all these inputs are being treated as string. Now let's try to make the identity parameter. Okay, see. Now let's try to make this identity parameter as an array and see what it happens. Okay. Now I will fudge it, the identity parameter, as an array and try to observe the okay. So in order to make the parameter as an array, I will just put 2 square brackets and proceed. Okay, so still I am just playing with a string mode only. Now passing the identity parameter as array, and let's see, you will get an error from the application. See, the strcmp function expects 2 parameters and that is string, but 1 array is provided. So, and at the same time we have bypassed the checks and commendable skills. You cracked it. So this shows कि basically applications, if you are passing an array and comparing with a string, then the output result will be false. At the same time, I would like to stress on this factor that OWASP model of web application pen testing suggests that still the authentication bypass is number 2 in terms of vulnerability assessment. Okay. So any bug hunter out there, if their skill sets is very good, then they will have a great chance to crack into bugs in different applications. Now there is third one before us, that is the now password is tough and we are using Md5, but at the same time you have to find out the hash of your Md5 is 0. Now if you use any digit, Md5 value can never be 0. So you need to understand that what I am going to use over here. In some time I will show you the code. Okay, here is the code. You can see I have already provided 2 string, 1 hard coded and 1 secret, and hard coded Md5 and there is a secret Md5. So I am just trying to have a hash collision kind of thing. Now at the same time you can see that while doing a hash collision, okay, I am using a equality operator, that is the double equality operator. And PHP has 2 type of equality operator. First the double equality operator and second is the triple equality operator. The double equality operator, when you use it, is basically compare the strings or whatever the data type in loosely way. Okay, it will not stress that they are exactly same or not. That's why there is a possibility that some bypasses can be there. This is also called a type juggling. Okay, so if you want to study, you can study about it more in Google, while searching through the popular search engine Google. Now you see, I'm just putting one more thing. If secret is 0, okay, I'm putting an additional statement over here in the if condition. Why? Because because if 2 strings are matching, either they are equal or the output is totally false. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do, I think, and I forgot the brackets. Okay, let me fix the brackets first. Yeah, okay. So let me, okay, I just forgot the bracket after if. Okay. Now, to achieve the same, that means you need to have a hash collision. Now, what are the hashes that are same? So let's try to use first. See, this is 0E and some digits are there. Okay. The moment I use that string. Now, why it happened? Because whenever there is an E, that is an E for exponential. Okay. Whenever there is an E for exponential, exponential to the power digits and multiply by 0 will give you 0. So you need to find out an hash of a digit or hash of a string such that it starts with 0E followed by digits only. So I just programmed a code, a basic code in Python to find out all possible digits having having the initial with 0E followed by all the digits. In some time I'll show you the screenshot of that Python program. And okay, and you can see this is the SHA program, I think. Okay, okay, here it is. So this is the Md5 Collision Program, in which I am getting that all the Md5 starting with 0E, and except from the first two digits, rest of the digits are digits only. Okay, no alphanumeric are there. So let me put this value in the input box. 24, it's 2401, what is that, 610 478, I think 748. Okay, so see, it's now commendable skills, you cracked it. So you understood the basic thing that we are trying to achieve over here. Any more fuzzing you can, if you want to do, you can do it. And at the same time, I'll just as I have done in my past, I'll put all this vulnerable codes in my GitHub repo, so that you can host at your end and do your fuzzing and try to hone your skill sets, which will help you to achieve your objectives. This video is bit longer. If you want, you can watch it at 1.5 also, if you have understood it. But for beginner, I would suggest please follow along the video and watch the complete steps one by one. And in case of any problem, please reach us via comment box, and we'll be happy to help. At the same time, friends, I would like to present my thanks to you. Now we have let me remove this. Now in short time I'll be presenting you one more authentication bypass challenge due to wrong uses of function. Let's see. Now this time I will be using more critical hash values, that is SHA-1. Just inputting that value one more time to observe. Now basically all the objective of this particular thing is to have a program, and you have to find out an hash which starts with 0 and E, so that, and followed by digits so that it equals to 0 ultimately. Now let's go to problem number 4. Now this time we are using SHA-1, and again the password is super tough now because we are using SHA-1 algo. And let me show you the SHA-1 algo. Okay, the algo is before you. That in this time I'm just comparing SHA-1 algo with a 0. Okay, oh, I need to write a 0 string. Okay, I spotted it right now. Anyways, In some time you'll understand that what I have done. Okay, if I just try to write 1, so it's asking, see, in 2 I have cracked it, so there is no way that 2, the value of 2 and the 0 is equating some anywhere. So this is a wrong result. So let me visit the source code to rectify it. Okay, so I have to put 0 as a string rather than numeric, and let us test it one more time. 1, 2, okay, now it's working perfectly fine. Now I have similarly coded a program in Python to find out all the SHA-1 hash collisions. Okay, and in some time I'll show you that also. Okay, so here it is. I have found 4 or 5 strings more or less having the similar SHA-1 value, and using the 1. Now let me type it in a notepad. So this is a very basic authentication series in which I have expected the developer is using the nascent PHP functions for implementation of access control. And this kind of applications you will not find anywhere in real life, but you will definitely find this kind of functions uses somewhere within the code. In the popular CMS also there was one similar kind of bypass that has been found. So don't underestimate it. The main objective is to learn, so that in scenarios where you need to sometimes audit a source code, you can definitely pinpoint the kind of laxity adopted by the developer, which may harm the end application. So thank you for your time with us, and stay tuned with us so that we can see this kind of interesting videos on cybersecurity and hacking. And have a great day. Thank you.